Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. So tonight, patch 0.10.2 hit and it came with a heap of optimization fixes and just general changes within the game. The wipe hasn't hit yet, that's going to be coming with patch 10.5, which could be in the next week or two. With these optimizations, I actually wanted to go into the game and test to see which ones, well, the more important ones in my mind, and I wanted to go in and actually test them out. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So the first one I wanted to test was the RAM optimization and the changes to the RAM. Previously, I would use a lot of RAM whilst in the game, and a lot of people would use memory cleaner to stop any memory leaks and issues with that. I went into customs, shoreline, and interchange. I went through all the highest areas of items and people, and to find out if the RAM actually changed whilst keeping up my Windows Task Manager and having the RAM selected so we could monitor it over the whole time. Now, over each of these maps, there was no real great difference in the changes of RAM from the start of the map to the finish, including going through the highest areas of loot and, say, items within the game. This is a massive improvement from previous, as I know for a fact that my RAM used to start at a number, and then by the end of the raid, it would go up by 2 or 3 gig of RAM. So if you were running, say, an 8 or a 16 gig of RAM system, you would have a lot of issues. Now, in my system, I have 32 gig of RAM, so I haven't had any RAM issues in a long time. But I know when I did go from 16 to 32, it did reduce my amount of stutters that I had. But knowing this, for you guys that want to have 8 or 16 gigs of RAM, this should hopefully be a big improvement. It says in the patch notes that there were changes to the sniper rifle skill leveling, and I went into a raid and just kept reloading a Mosin like I previously did and I've spoken about before, and my skill points went up about 0.1 of a skill point every reload. So I don't think there's been much of a change to that. With the hits, it still seems to be around 0.6 of a skill point per hit on any sort of target, no matter where you hit them. So for each hit, still around 0.6. I do believe maybe there's a minor decrease to the amount of skill points per reload, but still, it's quite easy to level up the sniper skill. So I'm not really sure the exact change they had, besides saying that they've changed it. You now don't immediately connect to the global chat when you open up the messenger. And so, for example, for your insurances. I think this is to do with reducing the amount of RAM usage, or honestly, it's the only thing I can think of, because when you go to your insurances, it's loading a lot of things within your inventory, and you would have a lot of lag in the menu. So my assumption, and unfortunately I don't have evidence to back it up, but my assumption is it's to try and reduce maybe the memory usage within the menu, but I'm not really sure. The biggest change in this menu though that they did, and I absolutely hate it personally, is that they now changed it that all the players are now invisible when you're in the lobby unless they're looking for group. This is perfectly acceptable if they had an exception for friends. If I go into a lobby and I want to invite my friend, I don't want to have to wait for them to change to looking for group and then find them. I should just be able to find them instantly and accept it. So if they could change it so you could see your friends instantly, that'd be great. Alternatively, I think it'd be a really good idea if you could just join a friend's party without even needing to go to the lobby, and then there can just be a ready button that you're ready to launch once you're ready to launch. I don't see how this is such a difficult thing to implement. I'm not a programmer, so it's me just making another assumption, but making it so you can't see anyone in that list. Yeah, you might not have so many random invites, but you've put more steps into it, and personally, I don't really like it. Personal preference, but that's just me. Now, the next and final thing I tested was the FOV, which it says here, fixed bug with scope zeroing depending on the settings of the FOV. I tested this, and at 50 range, I changed the scopes from the Hammer, the Voodoo, the Alcan, and the Bravo sight. I went from 50 to 75 FOV, zoomed in, took a shot, changed it to the other FOV, took a shot, and they're all pretty spot on. That's awesome. However, and this is a massive however, I found 2 issues after that. The first one was when you changed the FOV, but you changed the 0 out to further, say 150, I set it to 150 or 200. Changing the FOV put it way out. Like, it was totally different. And then to make it even worse, the laser was all the way off. Next, even another issue that I found, and you can see it right here, is the actual laser is swaying left to right from your point of aim. So it's like your breathing is affecting your point of aim or your laser or vice versa, but not the gun or the laser. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, but effectively the gun's pointing in one spot, but the laser's swaying, or the laser's pointing in one spot and the gun's swaying. What is your reference point for your shooting? They should be both fixed. They're bolted on. Where the gun sways, the scope sways, or the laser sways, it shouldn't be separate. So, and this is an issue I found in trying to test their FOV zeroing issue, which at 50 it's fine, but at further distances it's not. And then with the laser, it's got its own entity of movement. So I'm actually quite confused about that. Unfortunately, I don't have time right now to follow a bug report, but I'll definitely do it with a link to this video to say, hey, there's a definite issue here and it needs to be addressed, because if you're zooming in and you're using your laser as a reference point as well, it should be exactly where your point of aim is, or at least wherever you've zeroed the laser to or your scope to. So guys, that is it for this video. It's a quick summary of everything that I tested during my hour and a half stream. I know we are all testers, and guys, I can't stress enough, go and test out any of these fixes or changes. It does help the development of the game, and it's important that we do this and report on it so these things can get fixed. So guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future content. I stream on Twitch 6 days a week. Go down to the link below, give me a follow over there. I'm going to be away for a few days doing a move, and I'll be at PAX Oz. So be sure to, if you're going to PAX Oz, say good day to me if you see me. And that's it for this video. So lastly, I'll see you next time.